I've got real issues with audio. Actually, can you hear me? Can you actually hear me? Just fine. I can't hear, and it may be this speaker, but I hear computer audio and system audio just fine. But it's like a buffering, like whoop, 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 whoop. That's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing it's not coming through that. Whatever it is, that's not plugged into what you think. Yeah, that's not what. Yeah, it's just going to be hard. Yeah, it's just like a, it's like a. And very low. I've got it all the way up. I wasn't sure if it was mine, but now I'm thinking. Well, if you're just joining us, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Today is Friday, March 31st, 2017, and my name's Mike. We're streaming. I'm streaming right now to YouTube and Facebook, and soon to be Twitter. Let's see here. I'm just new to this. I had to jump on the bandwagon because obviously, all these talk shows, the Five, Outnumbered, the Chew, the View, the Talk. If you know how to talk, then you'd have. I mean, there's no shortage of things to talk about. So I thought, why not have a talk show and call it something? And I will take your suggestions in the comments area. You can call or text your comments into area code 816-866-8337. I am Skyping with co-hosts Jacob and Josh and Chris. Good, and they'll be there after I resolve the audio issue that I'm not able to hear them, which is weird. It may be some. So you can watch their stream. Christopher Rental is tagged in this video, in this live video. But here they are, and they can hear me, but I can't hear them. Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's this Dell Inspiron Yoga folding touchscreen laptop or not. We're going to take live to Twitter momentarily. Once again, if you're just joining us, welcome and thanks for watching. It's about 6:38 Central Daylight Time on Friday, March 31st, 2017. You may call or text your comments into area code 866-8337. This is what I'd like to call mic drop. So if you had 5 choices what I should call my show, should I call it Mike's Minute? Should I call it mic drop? Should I call it Magic Mike? Should I call it on the mic or get on the mic? Mic'd up. I thought I like mic'd up. You know, when you're mic'd up, you have a microphone on you. You're mic'd up, yeah. I'm sorry. I still can't hear very well. Any ideas? Is it my computer? I don't know if it's interference or it's choppy, and I don't know. Maybe it's the connection. It could just be simply the connection, the internet connection, or. My volume is turned up. I can hear some things. My system volume comes through, like all the sound effects. Hey, can you? Oh, sorry. If you want, feel free to call me on Facebook Messenger, if that's possible. Okay. All right. And I think that's what they'll do. They're Skyping me in. Oh, wonderful. All right. Oh. All right. It helps to switch the camera, doesn't it? Oh, the rear-facing camera, that is. That's what that was for. Well, welcome. Wow, the Twitter feed looks really good right now. That's a nice angle. Facebook is okay. I have a low battery. All right, once again, my name is Mike. coming to you from the music office here. I'm streaming to YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. If you're just joining me, this is the Situation Report mic'd up edition, mic drop edition. I don't know why it didn't come through here. Don't I have that? Thanks. I can hear a little bit better. You can't hear me now? Okay, don't. Oh, wait. Well, actually. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, call me back one more time, and I'm on the phone. Call me back on. I wasn't logged in. I guess it didn't ring the laptop. Sorry. Yeah, that way. Yeah, I'll do it from the laptop instead of the phone. So I'm kind of glad I'm not being held to a professional standard. I'm not a professional. It's a talk show. It's whatever I want it to be. It's really more for me than anybody else, anyways. And as a talk show, it can be my opinion. I can talk about my opinion. I can talk about the facts. I can talk about the news. I can talk about the weather for all I care. And then it's a weather show at that point, I suppose. Okay, so if you're just joining us, this is Lionel Osborne, and you're watching The Quiet Storm. If you remember that Saturday Night Live skit, Tim Meadows. So, here we are. Thanks, fellas. I can hear you. Can you see me? You're on the laptop. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, it's probably mine. Oh gosh, it was working earlier though, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm just kind of feeling that. Oh. We're probably pulling a lot of bandwidth here. If you're just joining me, it's Mike's Up, or Mike's Minute, Mic Drop, with me, Mike Murphy. For now, the Situation Report is a joint venture between myself, and Skyped-in co-hosts. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube right now, and I have a feeling the internet is the issue. I have Google Fiber, but once again, you can call text your comments into area code 816-866-8337. Sorry about that. Mike, your voice is butter. Oh, thanks for that comment, bro. This is Lionel Osborne, and you're watching Perspectives. That was Tim Meadows' Saturday Night Live skit. Let's see here. I know. Hi, Mike. Emmanuel says hi. Yeah, you know, as far as Facebook broadcasts go, I thought it was not bad, but I do apologize if you're watching. I didn't have anything better to do, but apparently neither do you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was mean. Okay, so to Manuel, yes, that system prefs. So our comments, Josh. Hi, Josh. Thanks, LOL. Jacob. You are too? Okay, so I'm not the only one having technical problems, Jacob. Thanks. All right. Because I know you can hear, they can hear me just fine, but there's nothing coming out of this right now. I'm hoping it's not my fault. If it is, I'll take full responsibility. Alrighty. Ah, okay. Optimize. Build this. Alright. Okay. Just sit over here. So, if you're just joining us, thanks for watching. Welcome. This is the Situation Report, Mic Drop Edition. And today is Friday, March 31st, 2017, in the year of our Lord. It's about 6:47 Central Daylight Time, and I'm working on resolving a technical issue. Want to thank you for joining us again. You may comment below. And 10 comments. Good luck. Thank you. Chris, hello. Just joined. You can call or text your comments in to, I'll be sure I'm logged in to Text Free. It's a pinger app. They don't pay me anything to say that. Area code 816-866-8337. Easy way to remember that? 866-VEEP. 866-VEEP. V-E-E-P or VEER. V-E-E-R. VEEP is one of those abbreviations for Vice President. Okay. Send feedback. Yes. Very bad calls. Skype. Yes. 0 stars. Text free. I should be logged into. If you've tried to call and we missed it, please try again. Area code 816-866-8337. So that's how we got a free call, a free number to. Oh, whoops. Okay. Free incoming calls. You can earn outgoing call minutes. Watching. Okay, Patty. Yeah. Okay. Right now I'm going to try this tablet because if it's my fault, I'm going to see if it's the same thing happens on the call, a Skype call with this tablet. I do have Skype on a tablet as well, and ditch this because Skype and Messenger are both on my laptop. 2 different apps. You can isolate the problem that way. So I'm going to try this tablet instead because the phone was slightly better, but I really wanted you, my audience, to see what's going on their screen during their broadcast, which, by the way, they're tagged in this video, Chris Fremantle, and he's probably tagged me in his live video as well, and you can go there instead of watch me try to do the show without them. And so, right, if you're listening to me, Chris and Jacob, I'm going to call you from this tablet on Skype first. Give that a try. It's an allocation of resources. Facebook is cutting my video? Or no, Patty is. Oh, really? They cut him off. Really? I hope they didn't play. I hope they didn't play some music that's like copyrighted or something. That's a possibility. It's a distinct possibility. I didn't hear it because, of course, I didn't hear the Skype connection. And not using. But yeah, not using the big screen TV today. Sorry to disappoint. See, I have a map too, Paul Joseph Watson. I have a map. I have a map too. See, I'm Paul Joseph Watson. All right. He likes to give some red-haired guy with a beard a hard time for being a feminist or something. This is what a feminist looks like. See, look, I have a map too. Paul Joseph Watson, you're not the only one with a map behind you. No password. Okay. Logging into Skype, fellas. Logging into Skype. There we go. So I'm logging in Skype. I must have logged out on this tablet. I hate typing on screens. I hate touching touch screens to type things. It's just annoying, to say the least. This is how slow things go when you rely on technology that is unreliable. Pretty sure it said that in somewhere in the Bible. Probably referring to rely on God, but don't rely on things that aren't reliable. It kind of makes sense, right? Don't depend on things that aren't dependable. Don't rely on things that you can't rely on. Don't trust things that are not trustworthy. But alas, I mean, but there you go. Here we are. I carry around, a paperweight, basically, essentially, most of the time. It's supposed to be a smartphone. I could update Skype. Okay, Chris, calling you on Skype. Finally. It's like these are supposed to save us time. These devices. Brother? Can't see it, but I can hear you. Okay. All right. Yeah? Sorry, I suspended. Did you suspend? What's it on? Is that right? Am I online? If you can hear me on Facebook, this cord won't reach necessarily on this tablet. I'm charging up this tablet as we speak. I've Skyped in our co-hosts Chris and Jacob via Skype and this tablet.
And do you just want to just use like this with him, or you want to go live on ours? Alright. Why?
Yes, sir. Sir?
Do you just want to go live with me and Chris through you, or do you want us to do a live video as well?
Oh, can you? Can you can you? Oh, you can. You can't.
We had.
You.
What's wrong with yours? I can go live. It's just I can't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I could have done that, I guess.
Let's see how.
Oh, Chris, do you have the capability to FaceTime? Okay. Thanks for that. You just gotta. Okay, but let me Skype with you on the MacBook. I think is what I'll do. Let's see what else. Yeah, we. Okay. Yeah, Okay, temporarily on the tablet, going to switch to this screen at least a 15-inch rep for short. Mic drop edition. This is my stream live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube via Wirecast, which is another free streaming software. OBS is another one that we've used, that I've used. And today is Saturday, or today is Friday, sorry. March 31st, 2017, and it's about 6:56 Central Daylight Time, 6:56 post-meridian, Central Daylight Time, and you may call or text your comments into area code 816-866-8337, or leave them below, and I will read them. You can hear me? All right, great, thanks, Bert. Heather, thanks, hi. Patty, no, they cut him off. Okay. Facebook, censorship, okay. CIA, spies, yeah, I believe it. Cutting the live videos off. Well, it's possible that it was. I hope it's not copyright. Patty, thanks. Hello, everyone.
I'm live on my backup account.
I'm calling you again. Okay, I think I can do this. Maybe not. All right, that works. All right. Say again?
What?
Okay, good. I got you. Got you loud and clear. All right. Oh, is that very big? Can you see that? I can see it. Okay. Bring it in tight.
I'm not able to take it.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey,
semi-pro.
Video.
Pro.
I guess Chris brought up his backup account.
Okay. Well, we'll be going live on Facebook from two different accounts, mine and Chris Freemetals, and live from my Twitter account. Microsoft 2004 is my Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. MikeRosoft 2004.
You want to do it on Twitter or Facebook?
We want to do it on Twitter, we'll do it on Twitter.
Okay, I've never done it on Twitter.
We'll do it on
We're
Twitter.
doing it on Twitter.
We're going to go on
We're
Twitter.
doing it on our Chirper Bird account.
Chirp, 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 chirp.
Hi, thanks, Chris. I see.
Are you live right now, Mike, or no?
I am live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
Okay.
Still, yeah. I've been live since about... not sure.
Facebook is trying to shut us down. Won't happen.
I should be, and I will use this laptop then, since it's not good for anything else, apparently, to investigate.
Sorry.
It's just eating up bandwidth at this point. What do you expect from PCs, though? Okay. This tablet.
I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to rock and roll for half an hour.
Right on. Right on. Bring it on!
Well,
after about 5 hours of technical difficulties, we
5
might
hours.
just ready to go.
okay, we're on Twitter. We are live.
It's actually working.
Yes.
Okay, so Twitter
I mean,
won't
I
shut
didn't
us
even
down.
say anything
Yeah.
political. Maybe that's why I didn't get blocked. Just don't say anything political, and then you're good.
Russia!
The Russians did not hack the elections. There, I said something political.
Okay.
And yes,
I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna pump you through these speakers instead.
Okay. And, oh, nope.
This is our second time we. Facebook shut us down, and it's not going to happen. Twitter is not going to shut us down at all. So, a lot to say. My opening statement, I'm starting with Chinese web-style censorship. It came to Facebook. They shut me down. They're shutting all sorts of people down, and it's ridiculous. It needs to stop. Okay.
You want me to get on this thing? All right. My opening statement. Neil Gorsuch, Democrats, I'm calling every freaking one of you out. Two of your constituents were able, well, not constituents, two of your colleagues were able to stand up for what is right in America, and it's about damn time you do the same.
Agreed. Okay. So we wanted to start out with playing President Trump's weekly address. Let's get that going. This weekly address is from last week, and I think it was a really great one.
It's big league.
Can you switch to the TV? Okay. So you just-
There's going to be.
Huh.
It's going. For some reason, it's swallowed.
Interesting.
Yeah, at the beginning it's got a black screen.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And it's buffering. Not a surprise.
Buffering.
I don't think we're shutting down our video.
Buffering.
Our ability to watch videos.
I think we're just having technical difficulties here.
Well, I think. Don't talk with
And this is really irritating.
You know what?
But
We'll get to this
Facebook
video
does
later.
too.
No, we're just going to skip the weekly address.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Okay. So you start off. Let's start off with the articles.
All right. Let's start off talking about. You want to go?
Let's go from
All right. So yesterday, Michael Flynn said that he would go up and testify before the Senate committee about Russia, but he would ask for immunity in change. I believe this is wrong. I believe there's something that we don't know.
Absolutely.
I believe there's something we don't know that Michael Flynn does know, and maybe even the Trump administration doesn't know. He is hiding something from us, and I want him to testify, but I'm not willing to give him immunity yet.
One thing that I'd like to say is, first off, it was either Michael Flynn or Donald Trump. No, it was Donald Trump who said this. Donald Trump said, if you are not guilty of a crime, then why should you need immunity? That's something that you have to put into the question. So if he is guilty of a crime, he doesn't want to be held responsible for it. Whether if that's being a foreign agent or colluding with the Russians. If the Trump campaign did not collude with the Russians, but Michael Flynn may have been a foreign agent, but I can't tell you for a fact. That's just all I know.
All right. My opinion when it comes to this, Michael Flynn, he's obviously hiding something from the Trump campaign. He
Yeah.
was fired because he lied to Mike Pence. Just because he lied to Mike Pence once doesn't mean he won't do it again.
Yeah.
I think Mike Pence has something that he has under his fingernails, and America deserves to know what happened.
Yes, they do.
All right. You're leading off the WikiLeaks thing next?
WikiLeaks, okay. So the Vault 7 WikiLeaks reveals that there is a Marvel tool that could mask CIA hacks with Russian, Chinese, and Arabic. The code also contains a deobfuscator, which allows the CIA text obfuscation to be reversed. Okay, well, no. So basically, what I'm going to say is, I believe that this tool would allow them to make their hacking look like it was that. This is totally wild, but I think that they can make their hacking look like the Russians did it. So if they can make their hacking look like the Russians did it, and then the DNC, they're accusing the Russians of hacking them, but couldn't it have been a source from within the U.S. government?
Honestly, I would disagree with you. I think WikiLeaks is not a Russian-ran organization. I don't believe they are. I don't believe it's an inside job either. What I believe is, WikiLeaks is trying to be the today Eric Snowden. They are trying to show us how corrupt their government is alone. I don't think they really are showing that. I don't think there is an inside job. I mean, however, there have been a lot of leaks.
It
So
could be.
there are still a lot of open areas on that because there's been a shit ton. Pardon my language. There's been a crap ton of leaks ever since Donald Trump became president, and there's something really that is going on with national security against Donald.
I'm just going to correct you. You said Snowden. It was Edward Snowden.
Oh my God! I said Eric.
Yeah.
My apologies.
It's all
Edward
good.
Snowden.
So yeah,
Anything
the
else?
WikiLeaks, they're not a Russian organization at all. They expose governments all over the world, not just the United States. But yeah, I'm just gonna go from there.
All right. Neil Gorsuch. My favorite topic. Isn't it beautiful?
Yep, Neil Gorsuch.
All right, time to rant. All right, well, actually, first off, let me actually get to the good news. My opening statement, there's two people that have actually stepped up. All right? It has been Senator Heidi Heitkamp from North Dakota and Senator Joe Manchin from West Virginia. States that Trump won big time in. North Dakota didn't shock me. West Virginia was kind of a coin flip for me. It turned out to be a big margin.
I figured that they would win because they're a coal mining state.
But now they realize they're both up for re-election next year.
Yep.
They got elected back in 2012. It's time to step up to the plate and try to get reelected again. And it is time for them because I think honestly, I honestly think they're standing up for what is right for America. Neil Gorsuch, in my opinion, is the outline of what a good American judge should be.
Let me speak about that. Neil Gorsuch is one of the most finest picks the president could have ever made for the Supreme Court. He knows that he needs to uphold the law. He will enforce the law. And he said that a judge that likes his decisions most of the time is most likely a bad judge, which is probably good. Which is a good thing that he said that. He knows what it's like to be a judge, and he knows that he will not allow the office that he's going to take in the Supreme Court to corrupt him. He's going to stand for the Constitution, and that's why I think President Trump picked him.
Yes, and let me get back to Neil Gorsuch. Now, these two Democrats have finally stepped to the plate and done what so many of us have been trying to do. They've been trying to see if somehow the Republican Party and Judge Neil Gorsuch, well, not the Republican Party, but Neil Gorsuch alone, what he did when he testified before the Senate committee, he tried to show them that he is an unbiased judge. He will step up and follow the Constitution. He's not a political judge. He goes by what the Constitution said. You know, the one that our founding fathers kind of made, our forefathers made, whatever they call them. All right. All right. And this is against an attempt of a filibuster by Chuck Schumer and the Democrats. All right, and in case you don't want to know, a filibuster is an action such as a prolonged speech that obstructs progress in a legislative assembly while not technically contravening the required procedures.
So basically, they're wasting time.
They're basically, they don't. All right, so basically, how it has to happen: 60 senators have to vote for Neil Gorsuch to get approved. There is a nuclear option where it's basically regular democracy, 50-50. You got to get 51 to win. But it's 60 now. Republicans have 52 seats in the House. And not the House, the Senate. We need to get 48 more votes. Not 48 more votes. 8 more votes. We need 8 more votes. And we have 2 more in here now. So there's 6 more we need to get. I'm waiting for 6 Democrats. Sorry, man. 6 Democrats step up and do what is right by America and what is right by their constituents and vote Neil Gorsuch in because he will follow the Constitution.
I'd like to say very well said. The way I look at it, Neil Gorsuch is getting confirmed either way. If 8 Democrats come along and say, you know what, I'll give this guy
6 at this point.
Well, yeah. But if that doesn't happen, Mitch McConnell will just be like, all right, we're going to vote the nuclear option and get passed and the Supreme Court.
Okay. You want to bring in Mike on this point?
Yeah,
Sure.
Usually has, Thanks.
Okay, what are your thoughts, Mike?
A lot of it is more than is more politics than national security. A lot of it is more politics than appointing a judge. You know, it's purely partisan some of the time, most of the time. I mean, it's bickering and childish, quite honest. You know, whether it's the confirmation, whether it's this spy witch hunt, whether it's pretty much anything. But as you were saying, a judge that always likes every outcome he reaches is likely a bad judge. And what I'd just like to say, you know, now I'm live on also Ustream as well. So on Microsoft 2004, MikeRosoft 2004 on Facebook, YouTube, Ustream, and Twitter. But yeah, that's where we're live here, and yes, obviously Skyping you, Chris Fremantle, Jacob.
Mike,
Thanks, I appreciate it. Greg.
is at Microsoft 2004 your Twitter name?
Yeah, it's the same for.
All of my everyone watching this, I'd like you to go follow at Microsoft 2004. That is MIKE Rosoft 2004. He's a good guy. Give him a follow.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, Chris. Yeah.
All right. Next thing I want to get on the topic is the Freedom Caucus and Donald Trump. All right. Last week, the American Health Care Act, thank God it did not pass, and it didn't even get a vote in the House. Thank God. But now Donald Trump came out today and he said,
well, it was the other day.
He was the other day, and he basically said the Freedom Caucus better get on board, or next year we're gonna have to fight them and the Democrats. So basically, what he was calling them is he basically called them Democrats. This is the one of the few times I'm gonna have to go against what Donald Trump said. The Freedom Caucus last year, with Paul Ryan and most of the Republicans were going against him, and he was basically a loner. The only people that had his back were the American people and the Freedom Caucus. Freedom Caucus fights for what they believe in American values.
Yeah.
The Republicans will just basically, the rest of them, only care about what the heck their Democrats say, and they're going to go against them.
Yep.
I believe that is wrong. I believe what we should do is go in what is best for America, not what is best, not what the Democrats say is wrong. I say that we have to get on board with the Freedom Caucus because they're doing what's right for America.
I would just like to put some insight on what the president said about that. I believe it was wrong because I do not think that it's the Freedom Caucus's fault that the bill failed. It's not. Whose fault it really is? It's the Speaker of the House's fault because it was just a terrible bill to begin with. Another thing is, just because, okay, we have a leader, we have a president. One thing I would just like to say, he happens to be one of my favorite presidents, but I'm not going to agree with everything he says and blindly follow him. That's just not the way I am. And one thing I'd like to touch on what Jacob said. I'm going to quote JFK. He said, "Let us seek not the Republican answer or the Democratic answer, but the I don't remember the rest of the quote, but it was like an answer for the American people. I think what's best for them is what we're trying to get at. So we want to have a healthcare system that will benefit all Americans. That will be cheap. It will not necessarily the cheapest, but necessarily the most affordable that we can make it. We need to make it competitive. We need to just have a great healthcare system. But we cannot have a healthcare system like Canada's because Canadians are coming here because they want to get good healthcare. They can't even get surgery in Canada. They have to come here to do it because they just can't. There's too many lines and too much waiting.
Anything you want to touch on there, Mike?
Well, what a professor of mine at the university's conservatory would say is you're not supposed to, it's not about being right. You must be correct because there's only one correct. I mean, it's not about being right or wrong, right? It doesn't matter if you have an R or a D or an I or nothing or something else after your name, you know, whether you're Democrat, Republican, representative, senator, you know, we're all just, we're citizens, we're all Americans, right, at that point, you know. So we want to be correct. It's not about being right or wrong. It's not being blaming. It's not about assigning the blame. It's not about whose fault it is, right? It's like you got to play the game in front of you. JFK, I believe, also said, as you quoted, if you can create a problem, you can create a solution. It kind of makes sense.
Yes, I totally agree with you there. I'm going to find that quote.
In my opinion, I believe that Obamacare should just be repealed completely, and we need to sit down, Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green Party, Libertarian, whatever you are, you know, and you just need to, at the end of the day, we need to get what is right for us. We need to have a healthcare system that will work for everybody, not just one part of America or the other. We need to have one that is best for everyone.
Okay, one thing I wanted to say. I was talking about JFK's quote earlier, and as Mike was saying, Okay, I'm going to read the entire quote. It says, "Let us not seek the Republican answer or the Democratic answer, but the right answer. Let us not seek to fix the blame for the past. Let us accept our own responsibility for the future." That quote is a really good quote because it's just saying, let's not seek the answer that the Democrats want or the Republicans want, but we need to seek the right answer. Not, as you were saying, Mike, it doesn't matter what party you are, we need to have the right answer. We need to work together to get to the right answer. And we need to accept our failures, and we need to fix them, and move on for a better future.
And we all agree that Obamacare was one of the worst things to ever pass into.
Yes, it totally was. One thing, I'm going to put Nancy Pelosi in the spot. She said with Obamacare, we got to pass the bill to find out what's in it. But with the ACA, she said, ooh, we got to read the bill.
You know, Nancy Pelosi is one of the biggest hypocrites in
Yes.
the history of hypocrites. She's a total hypocrite. Her and Chuck Schumer make my head spin. I swear to gosh, I really think that they make my attitude drop every time I see something about them.
Okay, what's next?
All right, let's talk about North Korea.
North Korea.
All right, Chris, I'm going to let you introduce this one. Take it away.
Okay, earlier today, Defense Secretary James Mattis said North Korea has got to be stopped. North Korea, they're making tons of threats. I'm going to make an analogy here. North Korea is like the phone tough guy. You know, the guy that calls you up and says, ooh, I'm going to beat the crap out of you. But yet, every time they launch a missile, it fails.
Or the keyboard warrior.
The keyboard warrior. I'm going to put social justice warriors on the spot here. They're the people that go, click, 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 I'm offended. Ooh, you're a Nazi. You're a racist. You're a homophobe. You're a sexist. You're an Islamophobe. Blah, 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 blah. Fascist, Nazi, racist, blah. That's literally how they sound.
Well, they sound like a 2-year-old.
Yes. They play the name game. Okay.
Yeah.
But one thing I'd like to say, one thing John McCain called, John McCain's not my favorite in particular, but he said that North Korea is like Kim Jong-un was like a crazy fat kid, and he got so mad, and it was great.
Anything you want to touch on? Actually, also today, sanctions were placed on North Korean agents. I forgot to mention that. 11 North Korean agents have sanctions on them by the United States. Anything you want to mention there, Mikey?
And yeah, well, when it comes to smartphones and smart bombs, you know, they're all going to be smarter than the average high school, because at least a smart bomb can find Kuwait. You know, in other words, on a map, that is. But what you're referring to is these kindergartner kind of adolescent, infantile, you know, childish trolls, I think is what you're getting at. And yeah, you know, we're in cyberspace, but which has an effect, right? But tangible actions and activism, or whatever happened to action. The physical presence, your physical presence. I need to get out to City Hall or the Capitol, and with a bullhorn, and just start saying what you want. That's your freedom. Like, that's why we can do that. Well, just before I move on, the thing you were saying, you know, right at first about having to do with these. Okay, the trolling. Basically, there's nothing I can do. There's not a thing I can say right now that can change yesterday. There's not a thing I can do that can change the past. You know, I can't change the past. I can only change the future. Is what you know. Yeah.
I'm going to touch on that. As Mike said, you cannot change the past, but you can only change it. I'm calling on everybody who's watching this. I want you to change the future. Get a vote. Do everything you need. Be a great citizen. Do everything you can to make this country a better place.
Next thing?
Sure.
Well, Obamagate. And yes, I'm calling it Obamagate. The White House wants the Congress to dig deeper into the snooping on Trump Tower after Obama official has commented and basically came out on MSNBC and said that, yeah, we did have them under surveillance. In my opinion, this is a disgrace. I don't care what happens. I think, in my opinion, that Obama needs to be tried. Every freaking member that ever set that up needs to be tried. Because basically, you can't, well, under the Patriot Act, you can technically. But what reason was there really for the Trump Tower to be surveillance?
Yeah.
And you want to say anything on that? I'm pretty fired up right now.
Yeah, the reason they did it was because there was suspected Russian collusion, which is totally BS. It's a BS claim. It never happened.
I would like somebody to show me complete
Yeah.
evidence that Russia did.
They're
this.
not showing the evidence. Okay, they make a huge deal because Donald Trump accused President Obama of wiretapping him, but he presented no evidence. You hear that on CNN, but yet they're saying the Russians the Donald Trump campaign colluded with the Russians, and they provide zero evidence to prove.
Anything you want to touch on about Obamagate?
Oh, yeah. You understand? Yeah, like whether it was Travelgate,
Watergate.
Gate, Antenna Gate with the iPhones, Watergate. Yes, I mean they've just taken to adding gate to anything to make it turn it into a scandal. You know, the way I read the headlines, which I'm just ignorant, consumer, and I'm kind of the average, right? So there was no doubt that coincidental, in passing, they're using surveillance, spying, espionage, and wiretapping, kind of all interchangeably. To me, whether it was illegal or not, which it definitely happened, is what we're saying here, and there's that's like the illegal search and seizure, or whether it's a constitutional, you're there. I just believe it was. There's no probable cause there, right? I mean, for suspected collusion. Here's my thing with Russia. I want to think that our leaders know better, and that this is all just a smokescreen, like deception. Your security is in obscurity. There's no safety in a bunker. There's no safety in. This is not too long-winded. Don't worry. There's no safety in your cave if someone knows where it is. So your security is in the secrecy. So I'd like to know that maybe something bigger went down here that we'll never know, perhaps. But I also don't think we should be complacent and say, oh, well, they probably vetted Clinton. Oh, why would they let her run for president if she wasn't vetted? Why could Obama become president if he wasn't a natural-born citizen? I'm sure there's somebody that checked into that. I don't know. I don't really. There's that due diligence, where, But you look at the facts, and there's absolutely no way they changed the vote tallies. And saying it's an act of war, I shared this. Saying that a congressperson, Chris Swalwell, he said it's an act of war. We got to respond to an act of war. But he says we want to respond by talking tough. No bombs, but Tucker Carlson pretty much violated him on Tucker Carlson. So go ahead.
Well, how would it be an act of war? How? Did we consider an act of war when the Chinese hacked us?
Sony Entertainment did Sony Pictures. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, for a movie, it's cybersecurity, yes. But if you're saying a cyber attack or hacking is on the same level as 9/11, which they literally did, okay, then they're trying to start World War III. That's what it is. I mean, it is what it is. Now this is speculation, pure speculation. I've read it on the internet, which obviously, if it's on the internet, it must be true. But they've said that Russia and the United States are actually secret allies. We're actually secret allies, and this is all just hopefully an act.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have touched on this, but I did decide to go back and look at the article quickly. Devin Nunes. All Democrats are calling for him to recuse himself and basically back out of everything because he went to Trump. He didn't go straight to them. He said basically, you know what? Screw you. Pardon my saying. Screw your people. Screw you people. The president deserves to know what happened and how he was right first before I tell any of you.
Yeah.
And now they're all demanding that he should get out and be recused and all that. My thing is, Devin Nunes did what I believe is right. He decided to let the president know. The president is one of the most important people in the entire world. He deserved to know what happened and how he was really right. And I believe that Devin Nunes honestly deserves some kind of medal over that because that that was national intelligence brilliancy, and that was evidence to show that basically Obama had wiretapped him, and that everyone thought, oh, Trump's this, that, he's a nutcase. And he's right. He's right.
Let me touch on that. If Devin Nunes didn't do that, and he went to Adam Schiff and started talking about that,
They would have silenced him.
Yeah, it would have been buried. He's like, nope, we're not doing that. And if he did do that, it would have been leaked all over the place. And it would have never came out.
It's hard to keep a secret. Like,
If
if something
either
like
would
that
have
was
been
going
leaked,
on.
it would have never came out. Either one of those.
All right, this lady Farkas, she's a deputy assistant secretary of defense she was a deputy assistant secretary of defense to Obama, and she discussed the collection efforts on MSNBC, and she said
I'm gonna go check our thing.
she said to get as much information. She said to her people on the Hill, get as much information as you can, get as much intelligence as you can before the administration. Before they had the administration. And long story short, that basically said she came out and admitted that they did kind of spy on him, on Trump. And I want to see evidence, real evidence, not the fake Russia stuff. I want to see real evidence that is cause for the wiretapping. Unless I see that, I see a whole lot of people that need to get prosecuted.
Absolutely.
I'm having a lot of rants today.
Absolutely. So, what's next?
Biden's comments. That's you.
All right. So, Joe Biden was saying he was at 10. He was with President Gutman Biden. They were talking, and Biden said, "My party did not talk about maintaining the middle class. Angry white men who voted for Trump aren't racist," and that is totally true. The reason that the Democrats didn't win the election is because Hillary Clinton is the most ugly, repulsive, nasty, vicious, mean, terrible, just horrible human being. She didn't even have any emotional connection to the people whatsoever. She did not. She didn't care about them. She only was in it for the money that she was getting. And when she lost, all the money started to dry up. She is never, ever going to be our president. And she is not my president. She's not your president. She's not his president.
Yeah.
She's nobody's president. So that is the best thing I can
Not
say.
the president of everything. Before the election,
I'm gonna.
at least
I'll
Donald
be
Trump had been the president of something, I think, he'd been the president of his own company. What had Hillary ever been the president of? If only that. At least he was the president of something, right?
Yes. And he was very successful at it.
Yeah.
I want to touch on this. I want to say the reason Hillary Clinton lost the election was not because she was a mean, nasty woman. Not alone. What she did is she completely. What the Democrats did, they forgot most of America. And this is the same thing why Brexit happened.
Yes.
There were forgotten people in America that felt left behind.
Absolutely.
They didn't feel like they were getting talked to by the Democrats. Donald Trump connected to the middle class, the blue collar people.
That's when I was talking about the emotional connection. She had no emotional connection whatsoever.
Those blue collared people that a whole lot of people think are just a bunch of poor hillbilly rednecks.
Yep.
Well, I'm not just talking about them, but she completely forgot them. And the reason they lost the election is because Donald Trump was able to reach down and connect with those people. People like Gene Huber.
Yep.
I'm not sure if it was forgotten or just ignored, right? And let's be honest here, Right?
Yeah, ignorance apparently is bliss, so...
They forgot and ignored. How about that?
Ignorance is bliss, folks. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
All right.
I wouldn't know.
So, I'm going to read this off. The Canadian Parliament passes a controversial Islamophobia motion. The Canadian House of Commons has passed a motion M103 which singles out the criticism of Islam as a form of Islamophobia. Critics condemn it as an attack on free speech. One thing I'd like to say, if you make it illegal to criticize any religion, that's an attack on free speech. We need to be able to criticize whatever we want to criticize. That's freedom of speech. If I want to go criticize Islam, I should be able to do that. If I want to criticize Christianity, I should be able to do that. If I want to criticize anything, it should be able to be done. And first of all, there's a lot of criticism that can be done with Islam because in Islamic countries they treat women like dogs. Men beat their husbands in
Sorry.
Men beat their wives in Islam.
Hey, it's
Oh, and they also kill gays, so I probably shouldn't have said men beat their husband. They throw gays off of buildings.
I mean, you never know what happens behind secret doors.
They stone women to death in those countries if they commit adultery.
the
They do a
hottest.
lot of terrible things.
The hottest fires in hell are reserved for the hypocrites, as they say.
I don't believe
All right.
that you should be stoned to death for committing adultery. Oh, the vast numbers of Muslims also believe you should be killed for leaving the Muslim religion.
And that's why I want to lead off on this.
Yeah, I'm not. Hold on a second. Not all Muslims are bad people, but the fact of the matter is, there are there's a lot of radical Muslims, and you need to make a distinction between radical Muslims and normal Muslims.
Okay, Chris. Now, can just not even trying to be PC, but whenever I've noticed, like, if you were to hear someone that was, say, Arabic or Muslim or from the Middle East saying, not all white people are bad, but there's some of them that are just creepy, or like or seeing, or even hearing Bill O'Reilly saying the black community, the blacks or black people. What if it was just if I was hearing white people, the white community, marginalized, or I mean, figuratively, literally a minority, but that's just one quick thing to set for our sensibilities, because you never know who's watching. Because in this case, it could be.
One thing there are some people that get triggered. One thing
I know you don't care if you offend but it's just a way of describing something.
Islam is a religion. You can be black, you can be white, you could be Arab, you could be purple, green, blue, and you could still be a Muslim.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. So what if I was saying Christians?
There's a lot of things that
Most
Islam
Christians are good people.
And here's why everyone's going off on Islam. All right, I have a list right here.
Okay.
The shoebox was a Muslim. The Beltway snipers were a Muslim. The
Oh.
four-hood shooter was a Muslim. The underwear bomber was a Muslim. The USS Cole bombers were Muslim. The
It's a
Madrid
fact.
train
Yeah.
bombers were Muslim. The Bali nightclub bombers were Muslim.
We get it.
The long story short, it continues to go on and on and on.
There's
Right here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
a long
I'm going to
list.
make a counter argument now. There's people that say, what about the radical Christians?
Okay.
You don't normally ever see a Christian go on the street yelling, praise Jesus and shoot people. That's ridiculous. That's never going to happen. No, there's this one guy that went in, I think he shot up a Planned Parenthood place. That guy was just a nut job.
And we're denouncing it. That's us. We're denouncing it as
I didn't
Judeo.
any terrorism, any form of hatred, any form of anything.
My opinion, if you're a terrorist
I'm
or you
speaking
commit an
up.
act of terrorism, you need to get put down.
Yep.
Timothy McVeigh, lone wolves or whatever. It's just violence is violence. But terror they're defined as to incite terror. In other words, to terrorize. In other words, to make us fear, to live in fear. Okay, to literally change. And that if with the Patriot Act and all this kind of invasions of privacy, though, I hope they haven't succeeded. I hope they haven't won.
Is that all it means? Move on to
Alright. Jeff Sessions has reported last night on the O'Reilly Factor that the border crossings have gone down 60% since Donald Trump has taken over.
due to strong leadership.
Well, that explains to me that Obama was doing something and Trump, he's doing something finally.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I absolutely find one of the main reasons I backed Trump this past election was because I am tired of seeing illegal immigrants come into this country and take over jobs. Not the greatest jobs in the world, don't get me wrong there.
Yeah.
But they are jobs nonetheless, and American people need jobs. Instead of having illegal immigrants there, shouldn't we be trying to get all the homeless veterans into jobs and trying to get them in better?
What you're saying. One thing I'd like to touch on. Donald Trump has been saying this for 30 years. He's been saying, we take care of everyone but our own. It's time to stop. This crap needs to stop. We need to put Americans first. We need to put everybody in our country first. Americans, we need to put our own citizens first. We can't go build something in frickin' Iraq that's going to get blown up and then rebuild again and gets blown up. That's ridiculous. We should take care of our own people. We should take care of our own veterans who kill themselves every day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We have 22 veterans who kill themselves every day because they can't get the help they need. And that's because there is terrible leadership at the VA, and that needs to change. And that's changing as we speak.
And I believe these sanctuary cities, and I agree completely with what Chris just said. The sanctuary cities in America, and I live pretty damn close to one, isn't Bethlehem like becoming a sanctuary city or something like that?
I have no idea.
Anyway, sanctuary cities need to be completely defunded by the federal government because that is wrong. You cannot basically allow
It's illegal under federal law. Let me give you that.
You're basically coming in and coddling people who have already, that you know broke the law because they're illegal already. And you're just going to coddle them. And then when they stab somebody in your community or rape somebody, it's fine. Apparently. Love them after that. You got to love the liberal left.
Yeah,
Isn't it beautiful?
Lunatics. Okay. So now that you touched on sanctuary cities,
Yes.
sanctuary cities have no regard for federal law. So Charlie Daniels is calling for sanctuary cities for the unborn, which basically means he wants cities to just say, you know what, we're not going to have abortions in this city. If sanctuary cities can ignore the law, then all the other cities can ignore the law.
Well, that's a great, excellent point, Chris, because I don't think I've mentioned this to you. My thought on sanctuary cities. So technically, you are, as long as you are illegally present in this country, you are breaking the law. You are in violation of that law, right? So that law. Does that mean in that sanctuary city I can break any law and not get punished? Like, can I go steal stuff in a sanctuary city? You know, like, right, for theft? Like, can we make
100% of illegal immigrants, 100% of undocumented immigrants, as the left would say, they are all criminals.
People
Regardless
illegally.
Anybody says they're here legally, they're a criminal.
People illegally present in the country, basically, they like to because they
And
prefer to. Yeah.
Then there's these crazy leftists that'll say, "Oh, nobody's illegal." What kind of world are you living in?
A person is not illegal.
In our country, under our immigration system, it's illegal to be here illegally. Oh, and let me get straight: if I were to walk to Mexico, cross the border, I would be arrested and thrown in jail.
Well,
that's what needs to happen.
Is something so wrong in America that you just feel the need to go to Mexico? Seriously?
No, I was just making an analogy. If I walked
All right.
there was a veteran who who accidentally crossed the border, and they threw him in jail for 7 months. And you know what? President Obama didn't do a damn thing about it. So President Trump got on the phone and gave the guy 25 grand and start living his life again. That's just one of the many acts of kindness our president has done, and that's what I appreciate.
And I just want to clarify: none of us are anti-immigration.
We are pro-immigration.
We all love America. We know it was a nation founded upon immigrants.
Yeah.
But we are anti-illegal immigration.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If you are an immigrant, I am welcoming you here with
Legally.
If you're a legal immigrant, we love you. Come on in. If you're illegal, get out.
Anything you want to touch on there about anti-immigration or anti-legal immigration?
Yeah, I think I've seen picketing signs that say a person is not illegal, and that's fine. I'll call you a person that is illegally present in the United States, or you are undocumented workers or whatnot. But what I was getting at was with these sanctuary cities, if it's a crime, right? Well, to illegally immigrate, then why can't I make can we call like Gladstone a sanctuary city for shoplifting? Like, so I can get away with that. Is that okay? Like, can I do that and not get punished? Or can you delay my punishment, right? Or driving without a license or speeding. Can we make a sanctuary city for speeding instead of just this one?
Let me talk about that for one second. Like you're saying, if sanctuary cities can break the law, then other cities can start. Okay, they can say we're not going to follow this law, this law, this law,
Yes,
this law, this law, this law, this law, this law, this law, and this law, and that will disrupt law and order.
You did mention that. You mentioned that, Chris. You beat me to the punch with the as far as the clinics, and that procedure, that thing, well, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
All right. Well, you're Mr. Trade over here, so
Trade.
take it away.
Lots of trade stuff has been going on lately. Trump talks tough on trade deficits ahead of the China. We have a ridiculous trade deficit with China, and that needs to get fixed. Trump to target trade abuses in latest executive order. Okay, so that's a good thing. It's fine. It's still going. U.S. considers 100% tariffs on EU business ransom trade. Absolutely. We should even be buying EU goods. Buy American goods. And plus, we need to start trading with Britain, not the EU. Britain's our friend. The EU isn't our friend. Okay. So, this year on taxes. So, what's been going on is this year on taxes, the fiscal 2016 was the third year in a row that general sales and gross receipt taxes set a record. So, the amount of money that was received in sales taxes from the government was $374,793,000,000. So, that's a lot of money that the government's spending. Anything you want to add?
Okay. I've said this before. We've got a finite amount of money, and we've got a finite amount of people in this country. We've got a finite amount of programs we can spend it on. They literally, Congress knows this ahead of time. So I don't know why they're surprised by anything. Like, why does this take them by surprise? It's like we've got a finite amount of money and a finite amount of government programs to spend it on, right? So why do we have debt? Like, why do we have a deficit ever? So anyways, that's one thing. Two, in the past, people have said, "Oh, well, actually, debt can be a good thing sometimes." I understood it for a little while, and I don't understand it anymore. Go ahead.
Let me speak here.
Yes.
Debt is a terrible thing to have. Andrew Jackson was the first and only president to eliminate the debt. But then the banksters, what the banksters did is totally wrong. They implemented an economic depression, so we had to start deficit spending money, increasing the debt. We have $20 trillion in debt almost, and that's absolutely ridiculous. It shouldn't be that much.
Okay, yeah. With regard to taxes, yeah. So they tax more, spend more, or tax less and spend less, or we could tax less and spend more. But I'd like to just when people say we need to take a chainsaw to the budget, some people say we need to take a scalpel, and I propose a happy medium. Let's take a machete to the budget. It's kind of right in the middle there because Obama was like, let's take a scalpel to the budget.
What we need to do with the budget is we need to have a full review of where all the money is going. We need to have a full review. The president needs to have a full review of everything. So where are we spending on this, that, everything? Okay, this is a waste of money, cut that. This is a waste of money, cut that. This is a waste of money, cut that. That's what we need to do. We need to stop spending more and more money on things that doesn't even help. We need to start cutting things that don't deserve the funding. Like the UN funding, we should give $0 to the United Nations. I'm not even going to go into anything else other than that. The next thing on our list is Brexit/Cal-exit. So, one thing that happened this week was Article 50 was triggered, and the UK started to trigger the Brexit process to exit the European Union. Okay. So, the Brexit leader Nigel Farage wants to split California in half. Basically, what he wants to do is he wants to have East California and West California. East California being the liberal side, West California being the more conservative side of California. That way, the conservative side of California can have their own governor, their own everything, their own government. Because the liberal side of California has way more influence over their elections, which is totally wrong.
I'm going to disagree with you guys there. In my opinion, I think we should just chop California completely out. Just go bam, bam.
That's a bad idea. That's a real bad idea.
Why? I mean, it could be called liberal land.
No, there's still some good people in California.
Perhaps,
And plus California.
I know. I was making a joke.
Perhaps they're hoping that by then, all of California will have broken off and fallen into the sea, into the ocean.
Yeah.
Right? Like it'll just because that San Andreas fault will just kind of.
Yeah, you talk about that.
All right. So Funny story of the week. All right, so earlier this week, Sean Spicer mentioned one of his things. He said that he was comparing basically how the liberals covered Donald Trump and the Russians. He said that if Donald Trump consumes Russian dressing tonight if he has Russian salad on his dressing Russian dressing on his salad tonight, that somehow it's a Russian connection. And somebody at CNN actually took the time to frickin' fact check this crap. It was a joke, and I'm not kidding. They fact check it.
You should say.
Apparently, if we're going to be all totally honest here, all right, here's what it was said. If the president puts Russian salad on his dressing tonight, puts Russian dressing on his salad tonight, somehow it's a Russian connection. That's what Sean Spicer said. The thing is, Russian dressing isn't actually Russian. Apparently, it comes from some city Nashua, New Hampshire.
All right.
I can't believe that somebody actually took the time to fact check something that was a frickin' joke.
One thing that you need to say what you watch CNN for.
Oh yeah, I've officially traded Comedy Central for CNN because it makes me laugh my ass off 10 times more than anything on Comedy Central.
Absolutely. Okay, one thing you were talking about debt earlier, Mike. This is for you. Federal debt held by public now at highest level since World War II. Growing budget deficits will push debt to reach 150% of GDP by 2046. That is absolutely insane. To be fixed.
And here's one of our feel-good stories of the week. Take it away.
All right. Rex Tillerson has surprise meeting with wife of American pastor jailed in Turkey. Noreen Brunson, the wife of an American pastor jailed on bogus terrorism charges in Turkey, had little hope of meeting with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson in Ankara this week, but the North Carolina native flew to the Turkish capital city anyway because he already had a plane ticket. And Andrew, her husband, had told her that he felt that God had told him she would meet America's top diplomat, and it turned out he was right. All right, so Rex Tillerson met with the wife of an American pastor who was jailed, and that was great. Rex Tillerson's a nice guy. He spent 20 minutes of his time, and he really needs to help. All right. So, this week's liberal lunatic of the week, are we just going to say it's Chuck Schumer this week?
All right, well, let's all give our own. And then we'll put them up on a poll on the page and let people decide. My personal person this week honestly has to go to Chuck.
Yeah, I agree with
Schumer.
you. I agree with you there.
How in God's green earth he is able to represent my state of New York is absolutely absurd. The fact, unfortunately, we live in one of the most liberal states in the United States, but
here's one thing I really do. Just like Calex may happen, we need to have a referendum here in New York to have upstate New York secede from New York.
yes, because we would not have Governor Cuomo as our governor right now if it was not for New York City.
Because the New York City election, the New York City, Buffalo, and all those crazy cities that are Democratic cities, they all have a major influence on our elections in this state, and it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. When the SAFE Act came out, which I like to call the Unsafe Act, an overwhelming majority of the counties called for a repeal, and that never happened. That's ridiculous. Why should we allow people, most of the counties disagree with that law, to have that law put into place? That's ridiculous. Most of these counties didn't even want to enforce that law. And that law was just passed in a heat of night at night when everyone was sleeping. It was ridiculous. That law doesn't solve anything, and it needs to be changed. And plus, there's way more differences between upstate New York and downstate New York.
Oh yeah, easily. Anything you want to touch on there, Mike, about actually, no, talk about liberal nut jobs of the week.
Yeah, well, I don't libtards or well, there's worse out there, but I think Chucky could be mine for the year. Like he's done enough to be the liberal of the year, like libtard. I don't know. It's like because he's been in Senate in the Congress for 30, right? So that's actually he's libtard of the next 30 years, actually, of the decades for sure. Like that, like you can't like okay, so like at some point, like out of how many million people live in New York in the state? He's the only one that can do that job, and there's no one that can do it better. He literally thinks that's why he needs to run for re-election. Claire McCaskill, okay, if you run for re-election, then you must think that the 7 million people in Missouri are just we're just absolutely dumber than you. We can't do the job any better. I mean, that's what I honestly think of you. If you're going to seek more than 12 years in like, where else is that failure rate tolerated? Like in any other job. So my point is liberal. Okay, so it goes to Chuck Schumer, but next week I'll choose someone else if I have to. But also, you live in New York. I don't know about this, but Cuomo, Chris Cuomo, Mario Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo. I don't know if they're all. I presume Schumer, Amy Schumer, Chuck Schumer. I mean, it's nepotism. Yeah, Billy Bush, George Bush, Bob.
I'd like to say one thing about Amy Schumer. The whales really want you. The whales want everybody to stop comparing them to her because they're getting offended.
And also, on another note, Bill O'Reilly, what you said the other night, saying that Maxine Waters had a James Brown hairstyle.
CNN said it was racially motivated.
You seriously need to apologize to James Brown. That hurt.
CNN said it was racially motivated. How is it racially motivated when he compared it to another African American person's hair? It's not racist to say, "Oh, her hair looks like James Brown's hair." That's like me saying Danny Williams looks like a mixture of Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, which he kind of does just a little bit from his hair. But it's a joke. It's a total joke, and it's insane. I can say anything. And I don't mean to offend Danny Williams or anything. He may find it funny, he may not. I don't know. I'd have to talk to him about it.
Seems like Nancy Pelosi.
But I was just making an analogy.
Seems like Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters are two broken down records.
Yep.
They can't stop playing the same damn thing.
Speaking of Danny Williams, I want everybody watching this go look up Danny Williams. He is Bill Clinton's illegitimate son, and who was pretty much ignored for his whole life, and that's absolutely wrong. Hillary didn't want Bill to have nothing to do with it. Look that up. It's a good story.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about tonight?
Okay. Well, I'd also obviously commented as a reply underneath a post about that James Brown thing. You know, what I said is I wouldn't be offended if, say, a black person said my hair looked like Rachel Maddow's. That would be kind of the same thing. If I were to reverse roles, like if someone were to say me, a guy, had hair that looked like a woman's, if that's what we're talking about, race has nothing to do with it, does it?
Let me just add one thing here. Everyone seems to get offended nowadays. You need to relax. Take jokes.
Actually, there's no such thing as race. There's no such thing as race. We've got to stop saying that. Sorry, go ahead.
Stop being politically correct. Take a joke the way you want to take a joke. Okay? In 2017, the movie Blazing Saddles couldn't be made. It just couldn't. It's too politically incorrect to be made this year. We need to stop having politically incorrectness. We need to be
politically correct and join liberalism.
Absolutely.
Yay!
We need to be politically incorrect. We need to be politically incorrect all the time. We can't be politically correct because political correctness gets people killed.
Anything topic-wise you want to talk about still?
Well, just listen to me on this one. Basically, I think anybody from Bill O'Reilly's generation was probably familiar with James Brown just because that's like today's, not Justin Bieber, but it would be like if you were Michael Bublé. I have no idea. Or if you were, what's his name? Bruno Mars. Like,
yeah.
If you were, he was. So it would be like me growing up 30 years from now, being on, having the Murphy factor, and saying, yeah, Representative, W. Wasserman Schultz has hair like Beyonce or something. So what I'm saying is, there's nothing. We got to stop saying the R word. Stop saying the R word. Barack Obama was the 44th brown president. He was the 44th human president. He wasn't the 44th black president. Just race. We need to. It doesn't exist. There's no such thing.
I
There's no such thing as race.
understand. I don't understand why liberals had to like treat him as he was a god because he was the first black president. Well, he didn't do a damn thing for the black community, the African American community. He didn't do a damn thing for
Basically,
him.
what Democrats did was, hey, every 4 years, hey, blacks, we'll do this and that for you. 4 years of
And
nothing.
more blacks are starting to wake up and be like, these Democrats don't have what we want in mind.
4 years of nothing. Then, hey, we want your vote again. We promise we'll do this, this,
All
and
right.
this. It's a cycle that never ends.
Well, is that everything that we had to talk about tonight?
Unless Mike wants to touch on something.
Hey, Calvin Carr, I just want to give him credit. He said that was an insult to poor James Brown to say that he looked like that. Calvin, thanks, Calvin. We appreciate you. That was a comment in the God Bless President Trump group. I'll link to that in the comments. Okay. Oh, I thought you were frozen because you weren't moving. I thought they
We're
were
still here.
They're still there. Good.
That's-
All right.
that's
Well, if
been
you're
a
just
good
joining us,
one.
we're about to wrap up the
We're gonna play a song
broadcast that
quickly.
lasted almost an hour. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, Ustream, and
Facebook
YouTube.
banned up
I'm at
me.
Microsoft
It
2004
shut
on all those platforms. Microsoft 2004, MIKE ROSOFT 2004.
on
Twitter,
Periscope.
and Ustream, and YouTube.
Oh, everybody watching
Twitter,
right now.
Twitter.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Again, today is Friday, March 31st, 2017, Anno Domini. It's about 7:57 post-meridian Central Daylight Time. Next
Three
time,
people at the peak.
you can always call or text your comments into area code 816-866-8337. And we'll hope to see you next time. This has been the Situation Report, Mic Drop Edition. Take it away. I guess we're not going to play music this time because Facebook will...
Next week we'll do it live.
Oh.
Next week
Then.
will be bigger, better, stronger.
Bigger, better, stronger, faster.
Play a little music. Try to.
I'm gonna start moving everything back.
Yeah.
You want to get my dad to play some video?
That didn't go as bad as I thought it would at one point.
Well, signing off.
Yeah, that really pissed me off. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you again. Signing off on Twitter. Good night. Signing off on Eastern. Signing off on YouTube.